like a good vampire.
Nice.
And these would be like a bad vampire.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Wait, vampire wasn't an option.
What, in the thing?
Yeah.
Vampires are normally monsters.
Oh.
And then these ones are my favorite. I use them all the time. Normally when I play, I try to when I play a character, I try to pick a dice set that like matches them or their personality. I normally end up playing rogues, so I use these dice a lot.
Okay. So, Alex.
Yep.
You're DMing.
I'm a DM.
Tell everyone what that means.
That means that when I play Dungeons & Dragons, I create the world that the story takes place in. DMing first time, play the game first. Turns,
Or do you more conduct the turns as the DM?
There's different ways of doing it. Outside of like a combat situation, there aren't really turns. There are turns in that, you know, if people are yelling over each other and trying to do things all at the same time, it's not going to work. But for the most part, I'm pretty laissez-faire about it. It's just like, I'm like, this happens. And then D, if you were like, oh, I want to learn more about this, can I roll investigation? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, go for it. And it has nothing to do with whose turn it is.
Oh, have you ever been a part of one that's ended? Like, how does Dungeons & Dragons end?
Any campaign I've played in has just been like, people are too busy and we can't play anymore. So I've never seen one end.
My character is a dragonborn. So think dragon face, like scales, wings, all that good stuff. His name's Rogar. Sorcerer. He, as a sorcerer, he didn't really know he had his abilities, his powers. He was working at like a family-owned shop, I would imagine, hopefully in Namaria, where it maybe got some bandits of sorts, or maybe just some general assholes just came in, and he stood up against them, and his sorcerer powers kind of manifested themselves, and he was like, sick.
Hi, my character's name is Luth Brightwood. Short backstory for him is that he's an Aasimar. I think that's the pronunciation. It's from Volo's Guide, which is basically means he has some celestial heritage, essentially like a god. He's a god's child. But when he was born in his small village, I'm gonna name it Tyrannus. He was kind of like worshipped by the people. They didn't really understand it, and it made him almost an outcast because he was so singled out. His dad rejected him as his son because it wasn't really like it was his son. It was like a god took over and just like replaced his father as his son. So after he became like old enough,
there is a Jesus character.
I'm the Jesus
Just
character.
at
After he became old enough to realize
Jesus.
he just like gave up on the town really and realized they didn't understand why he was there, and really he didn't either. My class is Paladin, which really fits in well with the Aasimar because they, as long as they still stay in the grace of their god, they just want to do good and protect people. So I came to Namaria because it's a large town. I was looking for someone to help because that's literally his driving goal in life.
Whoa. Alright, my character is named Thale Bearkiller Vamelaga. She has 3 names because she's a cool Goliath fighter. And she is basically from a mountainous region where her clan lives. She is looking for glory as Goliaths do. Most Goliaths don't live to old age because they're always trying to outdo themselves with the next big challenge, the next big kill. So she is just looking for glory.
Cool. I'm a human named Tim. And he.
All right, D.
No, it's not Tim. It's Tim. Because there's still a couple of M's. And
How many M's?
There's at least 2.
What is?
Okay.
Okay.
At least.
Tim. That's how it
That's just
goes.
one more than regular Tim.
There's at least 2.
There's
I'm not saying there can't be more than 2.
Is he played?
Zentarum attacking Nemaria.
Wait, no. You were part in the Hobgoblins?
Yeah, I was showing. Okay.
Zentarum is different.
Different shit, never mind. I was part of the Hobgoblin army attacking Nemaria. And I grew up with the Hobgoblin tribe because my parents traded me as a young, mischievous boy to the Hobgoblins in exchange for the lives of them and my siblings. And I've never known them. So then we were attacking Nemaria and I was pillaging like this nice rich house when I noticed that the insignia on the house matched the one in the blanket that I was brought to the Hobgoblins in. And so I, at knife point, asked the owner of the house, "Are you my parents?" They were like, "No, your family has fallen on hard times and now lives in the slums." And so I decided to switch sides because I want to be the one that finds my parents and not let the Hobgoblins do that.
Character's name is Nisa Knackle. She's a forest gnome who's also a warlock. And let's see.
Tell us her story.
Yes.
What'll she do?
So she's an astronomer outside of Nemaria, and one night she was astronomying, and then this fairy thing came and was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a body to get into to have a lot of power. If you help me find it,
I'm
I'll
looking
give
for a
you-"
body to get into, if you know what I mean.
Oh God.
Hey. Hey.
No.
Sorry, keep going.
So yeah, and it promised her ultimate like magical powers. So right now it's giving her powers until they find it, and then once they do, she gets them. So
My name's Braxis. I'm a Eric Cochran monk. Eric Cochran is like a bird, humanoid bird person, if you will. So I don't know, I'm like bright yellow, got like blue plumage and stuff. My backstory is that I was captured by poachers, like traveling amongst the lands, and they basically captured me to like clip my wings and take my feathers and like sell them on the black market. And after that, they basically just like threw me back out onto the streets, and traveling around wingless, I found myself at like the foot of a monastery, one of the only places that would like take me in at the time. So I go in and spend years training with the monks there, and basically coming to peace with the fact that I can't fly anymore, and being a bird, not being a fly, not cool. But like I got over it, and then maybe a bit of like the years that I spent there, or just like actually becoming one in like peace with the earth and whatever, I had a vision of flying again, and my plumage grew back and I was able to fly, at which point I was like, I'm gonna go travel the rest of the world, and heard about this duke in this cool town, and was like, what's this whole area seems to be at war right now, how's this duke keeping things together? Sounds like an interesting place, I'm gonna go.
That's pretty much it.